gear for photography. Often it's said that lenses and glass mean more than the camera. Join me today in looking at a relatively cheap but highly recommended lens for crop-frame Canon DSLRs in a landscape setting. For many, this lens is the first lens that they upgrade to from the kit lens that comes with their camera. Alright, we got some images I took out on the scenic byway. Some are taken on a 24mm prime Pancake lens, and some are taken with the kit lens 18-55 that comes with the camera. However, I shot all those at 24mm as well. We're going to do a comparison here and see what we think. This is the first image. I focused here on this shed. This is with the 24mm Pancake. Looks pretty sharp. Now we're looking at the kit lens, and it looks pretty sharp as well. Take a switch back. I don't see a whole lot of difference there. I might give the edge slightly to the Pancake, but it's debatable. Let's look in the distance at our mountain peaks. 24mm Pancake. And our kit lens. Definitely here I got to give the edge to the prime Pancake lens. I think it definitely looks a lot sharper. Take a look here in the edge on the foreground. 24mm prime. And the kit lens. And it definitely looks sharper there on the prime lens as well. So for sharpness, I think I got to give the edge here to the 24mm prime. Not surprised. It is a prime lens. It's going to perform sharper in general to the kit lens. Let's look at some shadows here. Alright, this looks like the darkest shadows. This is with the 24mm Pancake lens, the prime lens. And this is the kit lens. Switching back, I definitely see a lot more detail in the shadows on the prime lens. Alright, let's look at some color here. We are on the kit lens. Zoom in on these trees. Let's switch to the prime. And back to the kit. You know, the colors look a little bit more apparent on the kit lens, but I feel like they're a little bit more vibrant on the prime lens. And then the leaves are sharper on the prime lens as well. The colors look more saturated to me on the kit lens, but the leaves are sharper on the prime. And the color just has a little bit more richness to it, in my opinion. I'm sure somebody could debate me on that one. So I guess that's kind of a toss-up there on color reproduction for this image. Now we are looking at an overlook of Silverton. This is with the prime lens. Take a switch to the kit lens. Just in general, I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference here. Let's zoom in and take a look. It's with the 24mm prime. Good color reproduction, good sharpness. Switching to the kit lens. And it's pretty close. It's not quite as sharp colors look the same to me. Let's take over here to the edge. So still looking at the kit lens. Let's switch to the prime. Oh, definitely sharper on the prime lens. Switch back. See if you look at some of these buildings here. On the edges, the prime lens is definitely performing better. Let's look over here in these dark shadows. Alright, we've got the prime lens versus the kit lens. Switching back. Not seeing a whole lot of difference there. For this image, I focused in about here. This point in the water. This is where the prime lens looks pretty sharp. Kit lens, I would say, looks the same. Yeah, not a whole lot of difference there. So for this particular image, I would say, other than looking at the edges of the photograph, prime lens versus kit lens, the prime is sharper on the edges, but overall it's got the same color reproduction, similar sharpness in the center of the image, good detail in the shadows on both. I feel like the kit lens performed pretty well here. For our final image, we're going to look at this one I took on the narrow gauge railroad tracks outside of Silverton. The train is not in operation in this area right now because of a landslide, so pretty safe taking images here at the moment. Alright, let's dig in. We're looking at the kit lens first. Switching to the prime. A couple things I noticed right off the back. Zoom in here at the shadow detail. This is on the prime lens. If we switch to the kit, it definitely didn't perform as well in the darker areas of the image. For this, I focused on the mountain peak back here with a shallow depth of field. This is the kit lens. And this is the prime. Definite sharpness edge given to the prime lens here. The foreground in front of the mountains too. Everything looks a little sharper. Back to the kit lens. And I wanted a shallow depth of field to give kind of a bokeh fade in on the image down here on the bottom. Let's take a look at that. This is the kit lens. Switching to the prime. Huh. You know, I kind of like the bokeh on the kit lens here. It looks a little smoother, a little creamier. Whereas this has just more of a blur to it. That's kind of a surprise. So at 4.5 aperture, I think I like the way the kit lens looks. Yeah, I definitely do. I could have went with a smaller aperture on the Pancake 24mm, but I wanted to use the same settings for comparison. Had I shot it at 2.8, I might like the bokeh on the Pancake lens more, but now let's take a look at color reproduction. So here we are on the kit lens. Switch to the prime. And back to the kit. I do like the colors better on the prime lens here. They feel more richer, more vibrant to me. Let's take a look over here. This is the kit lens. Switching to the prime. And yeah, I like the color on the prime lens more. Definitely more vibrant. So all in all with this image, I feel like the Pancake lens performed better in the shadows and color reproduction and the overall sharpness of the image. But honestly, I like the bokeh on the kit lens a little better. The shallow depth of field there in the foreground. So in review, for general landscape photography, the 24mm Pancake's lens is sharper edge to edge, and in my opinion it has better color. Most importantly though is the lens's performance in the shadows. Dynamic range is a shortfall of crop frame cameras, and while a good lens can't improve a camera's dynamic range, a cheap lens can harm it, and that's the #1 reason I would choose this prime over the kit lens. However, you can still get great shots on a kit lens, and for some, being able to zoom from 18 to 55 may be a more important factor than this prime lens's benefits. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on bell notifications so you don't miss any future videos.